Okay, so let me just stop sharing. Okay, there we are. So thank you, Gemma. We have Gemma James today. For those of you who are participating in the Choose Happiness Challenge, you should already know who I am with the very scary weird hair today. But hey ho, that's life. It doesn't always go your way. But my name is Sarah Shard, and I help to inspire, motivate and coach women to be the best versions of themselves. This is day 5 of the Choose Happiness 10-day challenge, and I kind of decided throughout the challenge that I wanted to get other people speaking than just me, and I kind of like the concept then of takeover day, so it's somebody else's theme, somebody else's experiences, not just mine. So here we have the lovely Gemma, and the topic kind of theme for today for Gemma is the evolution of happiness. And the reason why that's kind of the topic is because I've known Gemma now for quite a few months, and what I've learned from her is her way of constantly rechecking herself. And for me, you watch Gemma, it's the whole evolution of happiness is to me what she's about. So I will hand over to Gemma, who can just obviously introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, so thank you for having me. Firstly, it's an honour to be here. I think this challenge is awesome. I am a kind of mindset type coach, but for me, happiness is kind of the pinnacle of all of it, and that's where it started really for me. So it's an honour to be here for this challenge. I think it's a great topic. So yes, my name is Gemma James. I am a advanced Law of Attraction Practitioner. I'm a certified happiness life coach. I'm a author, very, very soon. I've said author because my book is almost on its way out. I'm so excited. I've written lots of stuff. Let's say I'm almost a published author. And I'm a course creator and I'm a coach. I guess I don't really fit under the coach concept now much. I don't do a lot of one-to-one coaching and group coaching and things like that. I want to help people with courses and ebooks and info products and things like that, because that's how it really started with me. So if you want to know a little bit about me, I can go on. I'll try not to waffle too long. Interrupt me if I do go on. I have a tendency to go on a bit. So I have always sort of felt like there was something missing. Don't get me wrong, I didn't have like a traumatic life, or I had quite a good life. Yes, my dad left when I was 4, so growing up it was sort of me and my brother and my mum, but we had a nice childhood, and when she met someone else, we still had great holidays and things. It didn't have a bad life, and when I started working, I got okay jobs, but I always sort of felt like something was missing. I felt like there was this piece of me that was missing. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it felt like I was just kind of going through the motions, and especially with my jobs. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to uni, so I sort of did an extra year at college and qualified in sort of secretarial and admin and that kind of thing, just because it was a good job, and generally, I'd be able to find some work. But it didn't excite me. It was okay, and the people were nice, but it didn't excite me. It didn't fulfill me. I was kind of looking for passion and fun and excitement. And I remember my mum saying to me on quite a few occasions, jobs aren't meant to be exciting. Jobs are just there so that you can go and earn some money and pay the bills. And I always thought that was wrong. If you're spending so much time at these workplaces, you should be doing things that you love. You should be doing things that you enjoy, that excite you. And so I spent a long time feeling like there was something missing, like I say. I then went on to qualify as a lawyer. I knew very early on that that's not what I was meant to do. I totally fell into it. I got a job as a receptionist in a law firm, and sort of worked my way up through the ranks and went up to be secretary, and ended up being sort of the senior partner secretary. And then one of the partners there said, "Oh, we can send you on this course and you can go and qualify and be a lawyer." And I thought, oh, okay, that sounds great. I sort of had visions of a bit like Legally Blonde, I guess, wearing my kind of pink uniform and, get the little puppy and stuff and going to Harvard and it's all going to be great. And it wasn't like that at all, really. But, I felt like I would be being stupid if I said to people that I didn't want to do it and I wanted to do something else, because everyone kept telling me, wow, what a great opportunity, and it's a great job, and you're going to earn all this money, and blah, blah, blah. And so I really felt like it was something that I should be doing, and I spent 12 years should be doing it, really just feeling like it wasn't for me. And I spent a long time trying to be my own boss. I say trying. I spent a long time building a very expensive hobby, should we say. I did network marketing. I was probably in about 7 different companies over 10 years because I kept not doing very well. So I'd go to the next one and then not see successes and do the next one. And I was sort of beyond hopeless at them because it's not what I was meant to be doing. But at the time, it was the only thing I knew to kind of have the possibility of building my own business and being my own boss. Really, I hated somebody telling me when I had to get to work and when I had to leave and how long I had to stay and how much I was going to earn for the privilege. And I really, really wanted to be my own boss. And then when my daughter was born in 2014, I was desperate to be at home with her. And I just hated kind of leaving her with someone else just so I could go to work, so that I could afford daycare, just so I could go to work. It just seemed crazy. And I'd sort of almost given up. It was 2016, January. I'd almost sort of given up. And then I can't even remember who it was, but somebody on Facebook mentioned the law of attraction. And I thought, what on earth's that? And I started to look into it, and it absolutely fascinated me. It all seemed a little bit woo-woo, shall we say, to start with. It all seemed a little bit airy-fairy. And I was sort of thinking, you know, how on earth is just thinking positive going to suddenly, you know, make you happier and bring you in all this money and success and things like that? You know, why is suddenly having a positive attitude going to make you happy? Because I'm still going to be broke and I'm still going to be in a job that I don't like and things like that. So I started to look at the brain training sort of side. I studied neuroplasticity, which is all about brain rewiring, and then I found this happiness life coaching course. I'd been sort of looking into this area for about 6 weeks, and then I remember saying to my husband, it was on a Tuesday night, and I said to my husband, you know, what I really would love to do is just to help people be happy, because that's sort of what I've discovered over the last 6 weeks, is that actually some of these techniques can work, and I just want to help people be happier, but I have no idea how to do that. Like, it would be great if I could do this, I don't know, sort of happiness course, but they probably don't even do those. You know, wouldn't even know where to start. This was on a Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, I woke up and my first instinct was to check my emails, and I never do, it's always Facebook, but my first instinct was to check my emails, and the first email I saw was this course, a happiness life coaching course, at 90% off from this company that I'd never even really heard of. They just sent me this special offer, and I managed to get this happiness life coaching course for 90% off. And it was then that I really saw the power of kind of the universe and your mindset and kind of how you put stuff out there and how you can bring it into your reality. So that was kind of where it really first started for me, was that happiness life coaching course. And it's gone on from there. That was a very long introduction, but I hope that's okay.
No, that's good. And I think it is, you know, when you talk about like life coaching and happiness, there's still so many people who don't get it, who don't understand how someone can say, I'm a life coach or I'm a happiness coach. It feels like they're sometimes seen as buzzwords, when ultimately what you need to do is look at all we're all trying to do here is help people to be the best that they can be and live happier lives. And I know for you, like, obviously we met online, and I started following you, and then you're always so upbeat and you're always very honest with your audience in your Facebook group, and you have that community feeling there, and you know, it sounds like you do practice happiness, you do preach to people, and you kind of, you know, help them overcome mindset. I know you were my coach for a short amount of time, and from my time with you, there was different things, and then, you know, I won't go into detail of me because this is not what it's about, but at that point in my time, I did have a lot of limiting beliefs that I didn't even realise I had until you started, like, kind of helping me to unfold them layers, and it was there was lots of moments where we kind of had them aha moments of, oh, really? And, you know, actually she kind of gets me, which is strange. But yeah, and it's still been great. And so, you know, you've done all these different things. What in the last, so since you started in the January 2016, you had lots of different moments. What to you has been that happiest moment? What's the happiest thing that you can kind of say, do you know what, that's the happiest moment I've had?
Oh, goodness me.
Was it your spa days, or is it like Tony Robbins? You went to that whole thing, didn't you?
God, that was amazing. Yeah, that's it. See, I don't think I could pick one thing that's been my happiest moment over the last, whatever it's been, 19 months, 20 months, whatever it's been. It's just been an accumulation, I guess, of all these things. And it's been absolutely ups and downs. And it's really been a journey, kind of a discovery into myself. You hear these things sometimes, you know, where you take a journey into yourself. And it really has been. It's really been kind of reevaluating kind of what I want from life and what happiness means to me, and just sort of my goals and things like that, because I spent so long, like I say, I spent so long in this law job doing it because I felt I should, and it was so restrictive for me. I'm really kind of creative, I'm really spur of the moment type stuff, which is why, you know, I'm not overly great at the sort of coaching kind of aspect, shall we say, because I can't plan out what I'm going to say in my Facebook group a week on Saturday. I like to just get inspiration and do it, and that's not everyone's cup of tea, I know, but that's really what works for me. And I think that's been the biggest thing and the happiest sort of thing, is when I've really kind of allowed myself to just be me, because I spent so long, and it's natural when you're kind of learning new things and finding new people online. You follow people and you think, oh, I should be doing that, or I should be doing this, and I should be doing one-to-one coaching, and oh, now I'm a sort of happiness life coach, I need to kind of be all softly spoken and be airy fairy and talk about yoga and meditation and that kind of thing, which isn't me at all. And it was really it felt really false for me to do it, but again, I felt like I should be. And I guess the most freeing times, the happiest times, are when I've been able to just be me. And that's what I do now. And like you were saying earlier, I'm always honest in my group, and that's what I am now. I'm not an airy fairy coach. I'm not a woo-woo coach. I'm really not a kind of coach that preaches that you have to be happy every single second of the day, and always look at the glass half full, because it's real life and stuff gets in the way, and we're still mums and wives and friends and employees and whatever, and we still have to cook the dishes, cook the dinner and wash the dishes and go to jobs, so life still gets in the way. But it's just about really being happy for the things that you do have. It's learning about changing your mindset, and when you're sort of approaching different things, changing your mindset for different areas, rather than trying to force yourself to be happy for the whole entire day. And I guess the biggest thing I've got out of it is the gratitude sort of thing, and really being grateful for what you have. And you hear it thrown around so much on social media and stuff about an attitude of gratitude, but it is so important for your happiness and for kind of your personal development, because that's where you really start to feel happier, because that's when you start to realize all the things that you have. And like I say, I spent kind of 19 months chasing all these things that I thought I should want, following all these people that I thought I should do, trying to do all this stuff that I thought I should do, when in fact it wasn't in alignment with me. It's not what I truly wanted to do. And as a result, I either wasn't very successful, or I didn't enjoy it, I wasn't having fun, I wasn't kind of connecting with my sort of people. Whereas when I kind of take a step back and actually go, wow, over the last 19 months I've done this, I've left my law job and now, run my business from home full time around my daughter. I've just moved into this awesome house, which I absolutely love. And when you can kind of take a step back and go, wow, actually I do have this, this and this, it helps you just kind of reevaluate, I guess, like I was saying, reevaluate yourself. And it's not about still not wanting things for the future. I'm not setting goals, absolutely, but it's just being more grateful for what you have and not always chasing that next big thing. And that's been the biggest thing for me, literally in the last kind of 6 weeks, because I spent so long feeling like I should be making 10k months. I don't know whether everybody in your group is sort of building businesses and things like that, but certainly if you're kind of an entrepreneur online, you'll see it talked about, especially in the coaching industry, about 10k months and 5-figure months, and you sort of feel like you're a failure, or like you haven't made it if you haven't hit that level yet. You're clearly not a good enough coach if you haven't been bringing in 10k. And so I really lost sight of all the stuff that actually I have achieved, even in the last kind of 9 months. Really, everything this year has absolutely changed, and it's because I started to get into a bit more alignment with what actually truly makes me happy, what I really want to do, like the courses and the ebooks and that kind of thing, and step away from trying to do one-to-one coaching, because that's not genuinely what I want to do. And that's not about me not wanting to help people. I want to help an amazing amount of people, but I want to have a huge impact. And it was kind of the courses and the ebooks and things that started my journey, and that's what I want to help other people. I don't want to be doing 6k coaching programs or whatever. I want to be helping people with courses and ebooks and making a bigger impact. And so that's really what's, I'm going a bit of a tangent, sorry, but that's really what's kind of made the difference for me over the last 6 weeks, is really tuning in on what I already have, what I have already accomplished, and really celebrating that, and understanding that you don't have to be hitting 10k months, you don't have to be doing all this stuff in your business or getting all this stuff in your life and in your family, whatever, to be happy. You can already be happy now with what you have, and it can be tiny little steps. And like I say, this year I've left my law job, I now work from home. I probably work about 4 hours a day really now, and we've just moved into this amazing house, and I managed to do that without hitting 10k months. I managed to do that because I know the power of the law of attraction and the power of your mindset, and how you can approach certain tasks, certain days. And it's the same if you go to a job interview, or I don't know, literally anything, whatever it is, you can kind of change your brain and change your kind of thinking for that aspect to give it the best possible start. It's not about, you know, trying to force yourself to be happy every single second. It's really getting into that attitude of gratitude. And once you start to do that, you'll find that you generally feel a bit happier anyway. Some of the things that used to kind of piss you off don't piss you off quite as much, because you're sort of moving into alignment with that kind of happiness and that gratitude and who you're meant to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you were just going back then, and I was thinking about kind of back to probably the beginning of this year, which is maybe sometime around the time somebody who I was talking to went, you remind me so much of this person, Gemma James. You need to look her up on Facebook. And I did, and that's what I said. And I've said to you before, and actually listening to you talk then, I was like, oh my God, like the first, and you already know this, but the first Facebook Live I listened to for you was your £35 storage chest you had manifested. And it was,
I was so excited about that.
You know, at the very first point, I was like, okay, this is a bit strange. She created you manifested £35 storage chest. It introduced me to the concept of law of attraction, which I have looked at a lot more since then. But I'm sat there going, okay, that long ago was when I think you were still in your law job, and you were like, I manifested a £35 storage chest. And then your conversation then was, I left my law job, and now I've seemed to manifest this big house. You had a picture of the kind of, in your head, the dream house you wanted, didn't you? And you had that picture, and that was part of your vision, I'm guessing your affirmations and stuff like that. And then you were so excited when you came on Facebook, and you were like, this is the house I've been manifesting, and I now have it, and we're moving in. And that must feel, when you look back on the £35 storage desk, must feel like amazing for you to kind of look back on that journey and be able to bring your family along with that as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I know for you it's a big part of your drive, I guess, and I don't want to put words in your mouth here, but a big part of your drive, and a big part of, I think, what's made you gradually, and you were never unhappy, but it's like the happiness now, it's like it just shines out of you when you talk. And it's like that whole, when they talk about, you know, when you look at The Secret, and I always imagine those like the vibrations coming out of people when they think things, and that aura around you and stuff. And I'm not massively into woo woo, although I have a pile of crystals right next to me that I'm seeing. And to prove like there is like some of my crystals. I have got things here that are created. But you've come so far. I mean, you must be like massively proud of yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's really been the last kind of I've just felt so innately happy, I think that's the right word, in the last kind of 6 weeks since we moved into our house, because it does really feel like I've kind of made it. And I don't mean made it as in, you know, I'm this huge success or I'm a millionaire or anything like that, but just really but realized everything I already kind of had. Like I said, you know, I always felt like there was something missing. And even when my daughter was born, it was sort of, I was always trying to build this business and bring in all this money so that we would be happy in the future, and so that I could give her a good future and give her a good start. And so she didn't have to worry and, you know, save for a wedding and all that kind of stuff. So even, you know, the first sort of 18 months, and it's a bit sad to sort of think of it, but the first kind of 18 months, 2 years, I was never fully present, shall we say, and people are probably saying I'm a bad mum for this. I was always there and always looked after her, but there would be times, and especially when I was in the network marketing, when, you know, I would be sat on my phone scrolling through Facebook and she'd be playing and I'd be like on my phone, or never kind of fully really present there, because I'm always thinking about, you know, I need this to be happy, and I need this to be happy, and I need this to bring in the money, and I need to do this post so that I get some more income coming in. When really the last 6 weeks it has been just really enjoying the new house, and we've manifested that, and we can get to that later if you want, but I've totally manifested the new house. And now, because we've got this, I'm like, wow, you know, like you're saying, 9 months ago, I kind of, where are we, October, 10 months ago, I set this intention that I was going to leave my law job on June the 1st. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but somebody asked me, and I was like, okay, so June the 1st or before, I'm going to leave my law job, and by December we'll be living in our dream house. And that was the intention I set. And I left my law job on the 31st of May. That was my last day. And we moved in kind of 4 weeks ago, so we beat the Christmas date. But it's just sort of, now we sit here and I get to bake cookies with my daughter in the kitchen that I love. And like right now, my husband's out mowing the lawn, I think, on our amazing like big green lawn, and I just feel so much more in alignment with my business. And I've got my own office, which is awesome. That helps a lot. But I just get to kind of share this with everybody, and I feel like, you know, I want to come on and not even be braggy of, oh, look at this amazing house, but I feel like I want to come on and go, wow, look, you know, this is what I've achieved, and you absolutely can too. You know, I'm not making 10k months, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, but this is what I've done. And I really want to just make such an impact on people to understand they can be happier by what they already have, by getting through some of their limitations, because that's the biggest thing, understanding really that anything is possible, and, you know, breaking through those limitations, that you can really start to live happier. And, you know, if you want the Ferraris and the mansions and things, and that's great, go for it. But if you just want to be living a happier life, where you feel free, where you feel like you have the time to bake cookies with your daughter or go on holiday with your partner or whatever it is, but you've just got that freedom to kind of enjoy your house, then, you know, that's kind of the impact I want to have. And that's where I think, you know, the courses and the ebooks and that kind of thing are going to come from, because I can make such a big impact on people all over the world then. And that to me feels more natural, feels more authentic to me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, you know, the one-to-one coaching, the group coaching. Absolutely, completely get it. I've got a business coach at the moment, but for me, it feels more natural and authentic to me to be doing, you know, it in kind of this way. And so it's really just getting into tune with who you really are, what you really want, letting go of all the things that you think you should be doing, should be having, should be wearing and saying and whatever, and just going back to being kind of you, you know, having these goals and having these aspirations, but really being truly happy with what you have now, because that really is going to help you bring in more in the future. And when you can kind of take a step back and go, wow, you know, this year I've achieved this, this and this, it can be absolutely awesome. And like you were saying, you know, with my Facebook Live in February, when it was about the £35 storage chest, and the reason I did that was because I think sometimes, again, especially in the coaching industry, it can be so sort of, you know, I can help you manifest your like 6-figure years and your 10k months and this and that. And it can seem absolutely daunting to somebody who's just getting started, somebody that's never even looked into the law of attraction, somebody that's literally started building their first business, somebody maybe that's in like 25k of credit card debt, which I was at the start of the year, and can't see any way out of it. Just to know, well, hang on, if she can get, you know, a £35 storage chest, maybe I can get a storage chest. Or, you know, and I've got things like a free lunch, and there was a weekend where I did make $1,000 in a weekend, which was awesome. But it's all this sort of little kind of bits. Every time you get that, it's going to make you believe in it a little bit. It's going to make you feel a bit more confident, so that you can go after kind of the big sort of things. And so that's why I sort of went on about that £35 storage chest, to make it, you know, seem more real, shall we say. Like I say, I'm not a woo-woo coach and a fluff coach, and it was really hard for me when I first started to kind of, like you say, how is this going to work? You know, great. So if I just be happy, I'm going to manifest this furniture? Like, I don't get it. But when you start kind of applying it to these little bits, these little pieces, every little sort of success is going to get you a little bit closer. Every little success is going to get you a little bit happier, so that all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my God, I'm sitting in my dream house, like doing the business that I love, spending time with the people that I love, you know, being invited on to interviews and things like that, just so that I can share the message. And it's awesome. So I've completely forgotten what the question was, but that was that was my answer.
It was more around the journey, wasn't it, from the storage chest to the house to put the storage chest in?
Yes. Yeah.
So have you, because I know one of the things that sometimes, I think I've had a conversation a few times in the last week with people, is when you try and, you know, I won't say try, but like for me even, you know, doing the happiness challenge, some people just don't understand it. Like, they don't understand why you would want to sit there and talk about being happy. They don't get it. And even, I mean, I don't necessarily feel this personally, but I think there's, you know, a lot of people who are not trying to be in the coaching industry, or who are not in this whole Facebook, let's encourage the world to be happy kind of phase that I feel like it, and Law of Attraction. They don't get it, and so they tend to just look and go, well, what is it you're doing? Have you ever had any of that experience around you, and you've overcome it?
Yes. And I think I get, you know, we grew up in a society where it's more humble to be poor, and it's more usual to be moaning, I guess, so that if somebody does come across as really happy, it's like, oh, they're really annoying, and they're really flaky, or they're really, you know, how can somebody be that happy? And it's not like I jump out of bed and I'm like, yeah, woo, you know, it does take me 2 hours to have my cup of tea, have the breakfast, you know, wake up a little bit. And that's what I, you know, was trying to say. It's not about being happy every single second. It's about applying that thing to your work and your life and your family and whatever. But I did get, and towards the beginning, like I say, I didn't want it to be woo-woo, and I didn't want it to be fluffy, and I'm thinking, God, are people going to think I'm, you know, turning into this tree hugger, and I'm going to be like meditating on a yoga mat and like wearing hemp skirts and that kind of thing? And nothing against anybody that does that at all, it's just not me. And so I kind of kept it a little bit hidden. And then it got to the point where I felt, you know what, I'm actually blocking my happiness by doing this, because I was keeping it inside. It felt like I was almost trying to dial it down a bit. If I go out with friends, or if I was doing posts on Facebook and things like that, I'd try and kind of keep it inside. And all that did really was dim my light. I guess it sounds a little bit, I know, woo-woo still, but it kind of dimmed my light. And since I've got rid of that, I do feel a lot happier. And actually, people are sort of more drawn to me. That sounds bad. I'm more drawn to kind of generally happier people. So I'm finding a lot of people in my field, should we say, or in the online space, even kind of out and about, will be happier kind of people and less sort of moany people. I did have a friend, who's still a sort of friend, I guess, who very early on told me on Facebook that my constant positive posts were exhausting, because I was posting up things every day with, like, you know, the inspirational images like you do and the quote and that kind of thing. She told me that my constant positive posts were exhausting. And I just thought, how can it be exhausting to be happy? Like, it was more exhausting to me to read her posts about what she was having for dinner, and the fact that it was Monday again and it was raining, and oh God, the kids are being a pain. And, you know, that to me was more exhausting than sharing this inspirational image, where if I can inspire somebody for 7 seconds to, you know, or if I can make somebody smile or make somebody laugh for like 10 seconds, that to me is more important than, you know, what you're eating for dinner and kind of the fact that it's Monday. And so I think people do find it quite hard if you're not, you know, used to this kind of thing, if you haven't heard about law of attraction and mindset, if you're not sort of on the Facebook kind of coaching side or network marketing or whatever, it can be a little bit weird to, you know, why are you so happy and why is that so important? And, you know, it's not realistic. And like I say, you know, you're a bit tree huggish, or you turn into a hippie, or, you know, even just things like the general kind of way we talk to ourselves. And I'm all about kind of the power of our language, and, you know, I use affirmations and things like that. That's been the biggest thing for me. And just things like, you know, when I said to someone the other day, I said, oh, how are you doing? She said, oh, you know, same shit, different day. And there was someone else that said, oh, you know, another day older and deeper in debt. And it's all this kind of stuff where it's just sort of habit to say that kind of stuff, but yet you don't realize what kind of detriment that is having to your success and to your happiness, because the more you feed that to yourself, you know, the more you're going to bring that in. And, you know, I know you've heard of what you put out there you attract, and what you focus on you attract. I don't know whether your watchers have, but there is this kind of saying, especially with the law of attraction, that the more you focus on something, the more you'll attract it in, the more it'll expand for you. And there is actually a reason behind it. There is a scientific reason. It's not just all woo-woo, and it's because there's a part of your brain that actually filters in the information based on what you're focusing on. So because we're fed so much information every single second of the day that we'd go kind of insane if it wasn't filtered. And so the way it knows how to filter information is based on what you're focusing on. So the things you're saying, what you're thinking about, taking action on, and that kind of thing. So if you're constantly saying, you know, oh, another day older and deeper in debt, I'm never going to get out of debt, and oh God, I hate Mondays, and oh, there's probably going to be a traffic jam on the way to work, and all that kind of stuff, that's what you're actually bringing into your reality. Whereas when you can be like, oh my God, I'm so excited, it's going to be a really clear journey on the way to work today, you know, stuff like that. It sounds a little bit strange, but it is absolutely amazing how quickly that works. You know, how quickly it can kind of change things, and how quickly you can start to manifest. And all that means is make real, bring into your reality, how quickly you can bring into your reality the stuff that you are focusing on. And so that's where the sort of happiness comes from. When you can focus on being happy, focus on the gratitude, focus on, you know, something good happening, the more you do that, the more you build up the habit, the more you will actually find that you bring it into your reality as a result. That makes sense.
No, you are so right. And I know a few people like kind of months and months ago have always said to me, like, have you watched The Secret? And I've always gone, no. I've read the book, no. It's kind of like everyone had done it, so I was like, yeah, I'm not just going to follow suit. I'm not just going to read it because everyone's read it and everyone says it's great. And then I signed up for some challenge a few months ago, and the person leading the challenge went, step 1, you have to read The Secret. I was like, oh my God, seriously? Like, you know, I've avoided it for so long. I was really proud of myself for avoiding it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to give up, and I'm gonna have to do it. I'm not very good at reading books, but I like Audible. And then there was the movie. So I watched the trailer and thought, oh, seriously, this is gonna kill me. But actually, you know, I was like, no, you know what? If everyone's, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stop being a pain in the ass and ignoring it. I'll watch it. And I literally sat there like rewinding sections on my phone, and I was going on the TV, and I was like, oh, let me just, what did that say? And do you know what? It was so much, and it was after kind of we'd worked together, and I was like, oh my God, so much of what Gemma was saying is in this kind of movie. And I was like, can it really work? And my fiance then watched it as well, and I feel like someone, a close friend of mine the other day actually sat down and they were like, oh my God, you've changed. Like, it's not like you've changed, but you have changed so much over the past year, over the past so many months. And I kind of sat there thinking, yeah, because we get so used to looking at the pessimistic side. Like, he's so used to kind of not thinking about it, not thinking about happiness, and not knowing you can be happy and you can attract it. And after I read kind of Secret and then started trying to learn a little bit more about it, I'm like, the biggest lesson for me, and you definitely helped me with this as well at the time, was the letting go of any doubts that you have or anything that people say. I loved it when I wrote down all the reasons why I shouldn't do what I wanted to do, all the what ifs, and then I wrote down the total opposite of everything. I remember you telling me to do it, and I did it. And then I was like, oh my God, what if it all just went really well? How amazing would that be? And so I carried on, and now when I sit down, and I've had some call last night with someone, and I'm in some kind of coaching sessions, and I sit and I listen to people who you say, can talk to them about happiness, and they go, yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah. And there's someone a few weeks ago I was talking to, and she was like, and I've known her for a while, and I always see her as a happy person. And she sat in front of me and she was like, yeah, I'm a happy person, but sometimes you get so sucked in by other people, and you literally get sucked in by what they say, their pessimism. And I was like, yeah. And I remember letting that, I really, really now try and tune it all out. If people say things and I think, okay, that's not the way I want to think, I just kind of smile and let my brain kind of flick away, because it's not, that's their choice. And I'm not saying it's wrong. Everyone's different, and that's one of the things I think, you've always said that from the start. You're not trying to copy somebody else. You're not trying to be who they are. And it's when you are trying to copy someone else's path or follow their path is when you kind of go, I'm not sure I'm enjoying this anymore. I've, with your journey, you've changed. It's not that you've changed your mind, but it's the whole evolution. You've kind of been on this path for a certain, like you say, one-to-one coaching, and then you've gone, okay, it's not actually, I'm not saying this is right for me, and I want to do something different. And obviously your daughter, spending time with your daughter, I know is something that you enjoy. So, I mean, it's probably a fair enough time. We've took up loads of your time today. So I want to say thank you for that. Is there any kind of final thing that you want to say? I mean, what's the book that you said you're going to have, like a book soon? Is it one, what is it focused on, or do you want to share?
It's a collaboration actually with 4 other women, so it's awesome because it's not just going to be my kind of point of view, which is awesome because, like you were saying, everybody has a different point of view, everybody has different experiences. It's all based around money. It's going to be called The Money Code and How to Crack It, and it's going to be everyday kind of lessons on the mindset, making, maintaining and multiplying of money, and we really want it to be accessible to everybody. You know, it's not going to be talking kind of all technical financial stuff. It's really going to be kind of our experiences, and that's one of the things for me is that, you know, the money side, I've kind of let go of all this stuff I had around the debt, and it was that was sort of bringing me down and making me unhappy. You know, and I'm not living in a mansion driving a Ferrari or anything like that, but I'm certainly in a much better position with my money, which has helped with my happiness. And so there's 5 of us ladies come together talking about the mindset. We've got someone talking about kind of goals and strategies and things to help sort of maintain the money. We've got someone talking about multiplying it, and I'm really, really, really excited, and that's all coming together. And it was literally the day just a few weeks ago when I said to the universe, you know what, actually I think I'm going to follow really what I'm meant to be doing, and I'm not going to focus on one-to-one or group coaching. I felt a bit weird, I didn't know how I'm going to tell my group yet, but you know, this is really what I need to be doing, and I really, really need to get this book out there. I said at the start of the year I'm going to be a published author by the end of this year, and this is it now. I need to do it. And that evening I got the message from this woman saying, we'd love to have you on board, we're putting this book together, do you want to get involved? Like, I see you online. I was like, oh my goodness, yes, okay. And the very next morning I got accepted onto this course that I kind of applied for 8 months ago, but they only take like a few exclusive people. They got in touch and said, guess what, a space has opened up, do you want to come on? I'm like, oh my God. So everything is kind of coming together. So it really is amazing how quickly it can work. But yes, look out for that book. It's going to be launched January the 1st. There will be a pre-sale in November, so I'm sure we'll be putting it all over Facebook. And just very quickly, my final kind of point, which is something that I learned from Tony Robbins when I went to see him in April. If you ever get to go to Tony Robbins, do it, because he is phenomenal. That guy seriously does not sleep. Is just that you really can change your happiness and change your state in literally a split second. It doesn't have to be this big, long, drawn-out process where you have to spend 10 months to get happier. He is literally saying you can change your state to feel happier within a second, and it is absolutely true. And I now put this into place. If I am kind of having a bit of a rubbish day, like I say, life gets in the way, and kind of stuff seems to go wrong or whatever it is, I'll come home and I'll put on my favourite song and I'll dance around my office to that, or I'll go and, spend time with my daughter, or whatever it is. Do whatever makes you happy. But literally, you can be kind of jumping around, shouting around, doing your affirmations, and then it's amazing how much in a better place you are and how much of a buzz you are. And so it's just, I wanted to kind of make that clear that, it doesn't have to be this big, long, drawn out process that, spend the next 18 months like I did and you're all of a sudden going to be happier. It's little kind of step-by-step things, and you can change it. Go and put on your favorite song, go and dance around the front room if you want to, go for a jog if that's your thing, whatever it is that kind of makes you happy, gets you buzzing. If you're feeling, and especially like you were saying about sometimes being around people that can bring you down, that's, it is hard. I've still got people in my life that are kind of moaning minis, they're still very good friends, and I'm, trying to encourage them, but still have a little moan, and it's very easy, like you say, to be sucked in. So as soon as I leave, if I'm in the car on the way home or something, I'll put on my favourite song and I'll be singing, I'll be dancing, just to get myself back into that positive kind of state. So I just wanted to leave that as your final point. So go look out for Tony Robbins because he's awesome.
Yes. Okay, well,
yes.
Thank you very much for your time today. You just reminded me about, so I'm part of the challenge, I'm put like a different tool each day. So things like motivational videos, podcasts, all these different things I'm doing. And one of them I forgot to kind of add in was music. Because music absolutely can change your day. I know when I started playing, I put something on my iPhone a few weeks ago. In the morning, I got up and I was like, oh, I'm not sure what to do today. Clicked my iPhone and the random song came on was Aretha Franklin, Respect. And I was literally dancing around the room and I was like, yes, this awesome. Is my morning mantra. This is what I am going to enjoy today. So thank you for that reminder. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And you do have a fantastic house, and a fantastic family. Your little girl is so cute. So thank you so much for giving us some time today, and enjoy
Thank you for having me,
today, Gemma.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.